Welcome to the LOSG Rundown. I'm Clayton, joined by Brad and... This is going to go well.
That's
Joe
your cue, Joe. That's your cue.
Oh, see, I didn't know that I introduced myself. You guys are hosts, so I thought that you had introduced me to everyone.
We're kind of lazy. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? What's your team name?
First and Cole.
Yes, because of first place?
Because I'm hopeful to get the equivalent of a first down this season.
Well then, thank you for joining us tonight, Joe.
Well, thanks for having me. I know I'm surprised to get the invite because it doesn't really seem like I'm in the league. So,
Joe, if you make fun of yourself, it means that I shouldn't even be here. So please tone it down so I have some to add.
Let's take a moment to talk about wardrobe. First of all, obviously, I'm looking sexy.
Yeah.
Joe looks like he just came out of, I don't know, a photo shoot. And then Brad, what is that you're wearing?
Check it, baby. Check it out. Yeah. Check it out, Joe. What do you think?
I love it.
You like it? I can make you one. $100. No, for real though, this goes to the league champ this year. Little gift I'm throwing in. Yeah.
We wash it first?
Yeah, pre-worn or
I'll make you a new one. For those of you who don't know, I have a little side business making t-shirts. So this is my latest venture right here. League of Serious Gentlemen.
An advertising opportunity for Brad.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want any more business. I have too much and it's not my full-time job. So don't order any shirts from me.
All right. Well, let's get down to business. So,
business. Wait. Stop sharing your screen for just a second.
Why? It's very hard to do, Brad.
Please unshare your screen.
No, I don't think there's any way to walk this back.
Unshare your screen and look at mine. Eric Ebron is the #1 tight end.
Did you type this out so you wouldn't forget it because it's a fallacy?
It's not. It's true. Not in PPR, but in standard leagues like ours.
We should do a bet. I think he's not even going to be top 10 this week. That's my bet.
You mean he won't stay in the top 10 overall, or he won't?
This coming week, he won't be a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, what do you want to bet on it, Clay? Let's put a bet on it.
Water bet.
All right. What do you want to put on it?
A water bet.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Wait, you're betting a water bed? Who has a water bed?
Dude, I used a water bed.
Didn't your parents have a water bed?
My brothers have water beds, and I used it just like I used everything of theirs. Doesn't matter if their shorts were from the 80s and it was the 90s and they're way too short. So no, water bets. Fantasy Footballers, the best fantasy football podcast out there, has an app. And you can do water bets, and you spin the wheel, and it's different ways of dumping water, and anyways, it's a thing.
I'll go with money.
Money. All right.
Is this podcast sponsored?
How about whichever one of us? If Eric Ebron finishes in the top 10 this week, then the next time you win high point score, it goes to me. If he doesn't, the next time I win high point score, it goes to you.
But you have to win high point score for the first.
Yes, I do. But I think I'll win once, maybe.
All right, deal.
The bet. Yes.
Write it down, Joe.
Can I get in on this bet? Because I've never been high point scorer, so I figure this is win-win for me.
Yeah, no, Joe, you've got to have something to offer.
Oh.
Besides your devilishly good looks, Joe. All right, can you see my screen of the league?
Yes.
Oh.
Here we go. So first of all, hopefully the timestamps were helpful last week. We rambled a little bit with Bradley, who is Joe's brother. We'll try and do a little better this week. It is a bye week this week. Most people are impacted, some more than others. First of all, congratulations, Joe. Your prediction was at 42, and now it's skyrocketed to 87. So good job addressing your bye weeks.
That's almost double, guys.
Thank you.
Still, what is it, 14, 13 points behind? Oh, no, 11 points. I can't read that small writing.
Hey, he's still working the waiver wire, making some deals.
Yeah.
Making deals. So this is a reminder that we are officially at the halfway point of the league. So just pause, think about that for a moment. And remember that the top 6 teams make the playoffs. Now, according to Bradley in his hot take, he said that Vandalay Industries will not make the playoffs.
Ooh,
Still a
they're
very
fourth
bold
right now.
prediction. Yeah. And Bradley moved into first.
Yeah.
Which, for a moment, let's take a moment and truly just praise the Dabo division again. A bunch of winners. Look at this. Look at this.
That is pretty ridiculous.
But I will point out Bradley by far has the least amount of points scored in the Dabo division.
It just feels like efficiency to me. That just seems like that's what you want, right?
Wait, have you ever said anything nice about your brother before? This is on tape.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the one.
Nice.
Wait, Clay, there's got to be something wrong with the statistics here. There's one of the teams that his points for is still in the 400s. It must not have racked them all up for.
It's definitely, yeah.
That's Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
Why that was against?
Sorry, Joe. Yeah, that's a lot of points against, but
That is a lot of points against Joe. Congratulations. You have the second highest points scored against you.
yeah.
I can really pick them.
Well done. So, anyways, halfway point of the season, top 6 teams make the playoffs. Reminder that November 10th is the trade deadline. So don't just accept your fate. Try and, play the waiver wire, work some trades, do what you need to do.
Did you just literally underline my team when you said don't just accept your fate?
It's complete
your
accident. Gravity.
Wait, clarify. Top 6 teams, but the top 3 division winners, and then the next 3 best records, right?
Yes, we currently have it set up to where the division winners are 1, 2, and 3, and then the next 3 best records. And
so right now, the entire Daba division would make the playoffs
because we're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's record, and if there's a tiebreaker, it's points scored. Which Vandalay has a ridiculous amount of points scored. He's about ready to double Joe's points scored.
Wow.
We'll see how this week goes.
Joe, I'm glad you were amused by that.
He loves numbers.
Look, I'm a realist. That's an amusing stat.
That's pretty good. All right, and there's another reminder. If you have a player that goes into IR, you do have the option to put them in the IR slot and take the money back. So Murray took this option last night. I think it's good to take a moment and talk over this. So Joe, for example, could do this as well.
Yeah.
This rule exists in case you have a franchise player that goes down. It gives you a chance. It helps a little bit to rebuild. So, for example, Murray, he had Devontae Freeman officially went on IR. As a result, Murray put him in the IR slot, and he took 50%, rounding up, of the cost of Devontae Freeman. Now, you can do that once per season with a player. But once you do that, that means you cannot play them again, and they must stay on your team until the end of the season. Essentially, this is because you're getting back in place of them, you're getting half of their value. So we can't give you that money and later on in the year have that player play for you or get dropped and played by someone else. That player is then taken off the board in exchange for getting that money.
So even if he's on IR designated to return, so even if he comes back to play, he cannot be put in your starting lineup, but he has to fill a roster spot on your team.
That is correct. We said that's the fairest way since you're getting that money back. Otherwise, we're just printing cash. It's not a good way to run a country or a league.
You do not have to keep him at the end of the season.
Correct. Good question. You do not have to. He doesn't have to be a keeper for the next season, but you must keep him throughout the rest of this season so he stays out of play.
Gotcha.
Joe, do you want to get your refund on your player that's on IR, or do you want to wait?
Take this opportunity to say, give me that money for a Jai.
Joe. Oh, okay. I was gonna make sure you knew which player was on.
What?
IR.
I don't even know. So anyway, that's the only reason I came onto the podcast. I'm just gonna do the podcast because I don't know what we're calling this.
Trivia question.
Trivia question.
Joe, what does FAAB stand for?
Fab Five.
You don't know it still, do you?
Which team was the Fab Five?
Wait, what?
Joe, let's stay on point here. What does FAAB stand for, Joe?
Yo, Brad, let's stay on point here. I want my money back for a Jai.
Done.
Oh, brother. Anyway, go ahead, Clay.
All right. Any other comments on last week? Any analysis? Things you want to point out?
Yeah, I have a comment.
I have one. Eric Ebron moved from the number 2 to the number 1 overall tight end spot.
No one can see your
Mine's-
camera, but I'm glad that you're showing your sign to me. Who won the Battle of the Offers last week?
That's awkward. He's sitting right
I'm
here.
talking about it.
Oh,
No,
really?
I have a comment. First off, Brad, I appreciate the fact that you put your faith in me, silly as it was.
Yeah,
But-
that was foolish.
Second of all, I just want you to know in your heart of hearts, because I know that you put your faith in me and you said that I have a better tight end on my bench. And I did Google it. And everything said not to play him. And Brad, I don't have any idea. So here's what I think we should do this week is, Brad, you should pick my starting lineup.
Okay.
And then if I win, I will finally pay my dues. And if I don't, then it'll probably be a couple more weeks. Like Groundhog's Day, but for my dues.
All right, Joe, you're on. I will pick your starting lineup. But am I allowed to also make some waiver claims on your behalf in order to improve your lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. If I have the money for them.
All right, we'll talk.
So, Joe, why did you choose not to play two of your best players last week with
Because
Alshon Jeffrey and Crabtree?
Jeffrey sucked the week before, and so did Crabtree. And Cooks came back from that concussion, and I actually thought that he wasn't still going to be concussed.
Why did you not let these two players score more than a point for you? What happened
Well,
there?
in hindsight, yeah, I agree. That was a bad idea. Here's the thing. I need to figure out a way to know which of my starters is going to get a concussion. And I want to be clear here that it's not if one of my starters is going to get a concussion, but just which one. Because I think that would really impact the way that I set up my team from week to week.
Fair point.
That's very wise. Well, to that point now, Joe, I think as is your right, as 12th place in our league, you can make a statement to the league. You have 1 minute to make a statement to the league, and I'm going to mute Brad. Go ahead, Joe.
There we go. Okay. Dude, is it my time now? Did the timer start?
Timer's already started, Joe.
Oh, crap. Okay. Look, I know what a lot of you think, that
Did
I'm
you know I can unmute myself?
Oh,
I
no.
unmuted myself.
Okay.
Hey, Clay, make it so you can see his face when he's doing this.
I think I did that, didn't I? Maybe.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I still see your screen. For the record, Brad's interjections aren't eating into my time. Anyway, look, I know what a lot of you think, that I'm terrible at fantasy football and I have no idea what's happening, or that I've never put any thought into any of this, or that I don't know what the FAAB is, or what a waiver is, or a wire for that matter. I get that. You might think that in the past 5 years, I haven't put much more than a cumulative 30 minutes into planning for this league, or that I've never won any money at it, or that I never will. And some of those things are true. Many. Most even. Except that I have won money in this once, and that I know what a wire is. I'm still iffy on the waiver part of it, but I think I'm narrowing it down. The important thing for you to remember is this. We are living in the darkest timeline. Think about it. Record-setting storms and wildfires are happening every year. Russia's ascent in international geopolitics is ridiculous. Donald Trump is president. Bradley's beard looks better than both mine and Brad List's. Nothing makes sense. The only bright spot in this timeline, I think we can all, without a single known exception, agree, is the Chicago Cubs, which only proves its darkestness, and I stand by that. There exists somewhere in the multiverse a league where I am dominant in the league and Bradley is much more like himself. And I urge you to focus on that timeline. And also on the ridiculousness of Alshon Jeffrey only having a good game when I bench him, or of me having a 100% success rate of starting someone who will have a concussion. And in conclusion, I'm awesome, and we should move on with this podcast thing.
Thank you, Joe. I feel smarter. Let's see. Brad, you can now unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted. Joe, I just need to point out that it very much seems as though you put more effort into that statement than you have into fantasy football over the last 3 years cumulatively.
The world will never know if that's true.
Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing.
There's no problem with that. Thank you for sharing from the heart,
That was
Joe.
great.
Look, Brad, I know where my skills lie, and so I put the effort into those.
Nice. I'm
All
so
right.
proud of you.
Time for analysis. Each of you I asked to tell me 3 players who have surprised you the most this season, good or bad. Let's start with Brad.
Eric Ebron, you might think would be my answer. But Eric Ebron has not surprised me one bit. I knew that he would be at the top of the tight end list. So you might have thought that would be my number 1, but it is not. In fact, the 4 players that have surprised me the most,
3.
too bad I'm saying 4, are my running backs. My running backs who were preseason ranked number 12, 24, 36, and 52 are in their overall rankings, they were all top 20 running backs. Their actual ranks are 122, 133, 281, and 351. That's some pretty sucky running backing. So those are my players that have surprised me the most, being terrible.
Well done. Look at this guy. Came prepared with stats and everything.
Yes.
Joe, name 3 players that play football. Joe, do you have 3 players who surprised you the most? Good or bad?
That's a different question than the one that I prepared for. Okay, so my 3 players are Trubisky, who I'm very pleased with. I was hopeful for Trubisky, but I was fearful for him, and I'm excited about the way he's played for the last game and a half. Only the second half of the last game, but still. So that's exciting. Also, Rodgers, because he and his Packers have sucked mostly this year, and that surprised me because I paid a lot of money for Rodgers. And finally, and I think maybe most importantly, I wish that I could share my screen, is Janikowski, because I was surprised. I did not know that he looked like a linebacker, and that surprised the hell out of me. I'm going to be really honest with you guys.
That's a good point. We actually talked about this, didn't we, at the beginning of the season? Was it top 5 NFL kickers by weight? I don't think he actually was the heaviest kicker, was he?
No, we looked this up.
That was the most surprising thing that we learned. Oh, no. I actually spent some time today with the people that run stats for NFL, and I brought up that story, and they talked about how we should get other things like head size and things like that. So in case you care, they're going to try and figure that out. Oh, no, it's having a hard time bringing it up.
We're all putting plugs in for our jobs tonight.
It's conference week for Wolfram, so their site is maybe a little bit more trafficked.
So you're just hanging out with people who do NFL stats?
Well, no, they were one of the people that were there. Yeah.
Play it down.
I can't remember how I found that before. Joe, well done.
Mitchell Trubisky is the number 10 quarterback.
And also a quarterback, more importantly.
Averaging 21.77 points a game. That's pretty good. He is ranked number 11 overall fantasy players, preseason projected 141st. Pretty good, bro.
Got him for 2 bones.
Nice. All right, Joe, next question's for you. What 5 things need to happen for you to make the playoffs?
Brad needs to set my lineup. And then I need to get a different lineup. Concussions need to stop. Physics needs to change so the concussions aren't a thing. And I think that's it, actually. There's only 3. There's actually not 5. There's just 3. I just need Brad to set my lineup, to have a different team, and for concussions not to exist. And then I'd be really competitive.
There's the facts. All right. Now on to trivia time. Are you ready for trivia time?
Yes. Oh, yeah, here we go. I forgot. I wasn't looking at the screen, but now I am.
It's very helpful.
I forgot you have a PowerPoint.
Yeah. Question number 1. Which NFL player has reached 21 miles per hour or more 4 times this season as a ball carrier?
Oh. I'm going to say Hill.
Joe? Tyreek Hill is correct.
But I was trying to unmute. I had muted myself.
Oh.
I also think it's Hill.
No other player has done this more than once this season.
Wow.
Thank you, Next Gen Stats. In honor of Next Gen Stats, they are actually sponsoring the podcast tonight. We're going to have several things from them.
Moving on up, huh?
Woo! Question number 2. Which quarterback has the highest passer rating and the best touchdown to interception ratio when time to throw is less than 2.5 seconds?
The T is not pronounced. It's ratio, not radio.
I heard it both ways.
Ratio. Which NFL quarterback has the highest passer rating and best TD to interception ratio when time to throw is less than 2.5 seconds?
To give you a clue, this is very important to negate a pass rush and has me concerned.
Got to be Dan Marino, right?
Well, since you're putting obscure stats,
Tom Brady.
Why you? I didn't even get a chance to answer.
You had
welcome to my world, Brad.
Yeah, as a Bears fan, I'm a little bit worried about this. But yes, stupid Tom Brady. Next one. Of the following Bartlett staff members, who joined the campaign first?
What? Who's Bartlett?
I'm such a huge fan of this question.
Who's
it's obvious. It's Toby Ziegler. Come on, Brad. Get on board.
Toby Ziegler is correct. Well done, Joe. Too bad.
What's going on?
What's going on? This is actually our Fantasy West Wing podcast.
Next question. Which running back has seen 8 or more defenders in the box for only 10% of his carries? Lowest in the league.
I mean, I don't know how to answer this. I mean, I have there's no possible way that I could recall any bank of information in my own head to come up with an answer to this question. So,
boy, Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley. There you go. Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
Who is having an insane fantasy year.
He is. He's amazing. I love him. What's amazing in his last game, of his 28 carries against the Broncos, on 3 of them, only 3 carries did he see a stacked box. So no wonder he's running wild.
Also, for future guests on the podcast, and I guess Brad, there's always an answer that's Todd Gurley. I'm surprised you haven't put this together yet, Brad.
Not yet.
Whatever the running back question is, answer Todd Gurley.
What is going on?
We're pausing for a moment to pay honor and homage to our sponsors, Next Gen Stats. So, stupid Albert Wilson. This is one of his plays. Notice because they gained almost 300 yards after the pass against the Bears.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. You should check out Next Gen Stats on Twitter or on their website. And this shows all the Bears players that faked like they were going to tackle him and then just missed him. You notice here, Tolliver, our rookie cornerback, started heading him off here and still missed him.
And went through him like a magician, moving rubber bands through each other.
Yeah. Everyone just congratulated him.
That's enough looking at this Tecmo Bowl.
It is like a Tecmo Bowl.
I don't know how
Next
much
question.
I was playing Tecmo Bowl the other day, actually. I have my original Nintendo set up.
For what did Teddy Roosevelt win the Nobel Peace Prize?
Probably walking softly and carrying a big stick.
Joe, I expect better.
No, it was for
you got this, Brad.
The Panama Canal.
Oh.
Wait, that's not how Peace Prize.
Final chance, Joe.
I don't know that.
Ending the Russo-Japanese War.
Also the Panama Canal.
Probably.
Really, it's the same thing. They have the same thing.
Name 2 of the 3 Aerosmith songs from the Armageddon soundtrack.
There's the one that he sings to his daughter that's awkward.
Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive?
That's Bon Jovi, Brad. Come on, let's be serious.
Oh, yeah, whoops. Go ahead.
But a much better movie with Dead or Alive in it.
Oh, you have to at least name one. Come on now.
This is the one, but
Free falling.
What?
Free falling.
I'm so disappointed.
That's
I don't want to miss a thing.
that one.
Ed's Sweet Emotion.
Sing it, Joe.
Oh, interesting. I'm not going to do that.
Sweet emotion. We need
dear
Andrew
God.
on here. You would sing them.
Which 1997 film stars Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and John Malkovich?
Con Air. Yeah.
Joe. I think Joe's in the
Con
lead
Air.
on our fantasy
I was
football trivia.
about to say Air Con, and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
That's just, I think
Air
that could
Con,
be a-
the actual
I was
airline.
like, prisoners in the air, prisoners on a plane,
Fun fact.
snakes on a plane. That's it.
Fun fact. Nicolas Cage wrapped shooting for Con Air, got on a plane, flew across the country, and within 12 hours was shooting Face Off.
True story. Well done, Joe.
Nice.
All right, passing yard leaders, top 5.
Ah,
How many can you name?
Joe,
None.
I can.
Really?
Go ahead.
Joe,
Wait.
I'm going to give you a chance to get some of these here.
Go Drew Brees? No? Is that a negative?
No, he's not even in the top 10, Joe.
No, even though he's got the all-time leader now. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger,
Neat.
probably Jared Goff.
And Kirk Cousins around there, too?
Mahomes has got to be up there. Kirk Cousins.
All right. Big Ben is in the lead with the most yards.
I got.
Rodgers.
Who did I get? I got. Oh, Matt Ryan. I missed Matt Ryan.
All right. Next question.
Now we're in my ballpark, Joe.
Who's this guy?
No one knows.
That looks like a skinned ferret with glasses.
What is happening with my face? Why am I smiling like that?
You were happy they.
Joe, you're so
Your
handsome,
power.
man. Your beard does look good too.
I look like a person who's never smiled before, and someone is describing to him what it should look like.
Your teeth were like, we usually are hiding behind a bush. What's happening?
There's no smiling in your left eye. I know that much.
Do you know why? Because I shouldn't be clean shaven, and I knew it. She was taken.
You look much better with a beard. Look how good your hair.
What are you looking through there?
That's not me.
You. I still know. I'm trying to trap you. How is this not you? Look at this guy.
That's a ginger. It's all in there.
He even squints like you, Joe.
That's a ginger. That's awesome.
Hey, Brad, do you agree this is 90% Joe?
90% Joe. All right, next question. This is taking too long.
All right.
Anybody who doesn't know us is not going to be interested in
You got somewhere to be.
All right. Well, to wrap this up, we're going to go ahead and try and get to know Joe. So rapid fire, Joe. You got to answer these quick.
Don't
Are you
mute
ready?
me.
I won't. Actually, you know what? We're going to show Joe while we do this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Joe, what's your job?
I'm a captain.
And
I oversee the Chicago market for a startup called Enjoy Technology.
what do you do for fun?
I come on podcasts and I'm the guest. I'm the guest.
Have you ever posed nude for a cowboy-themed photograph?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Have you ever puked on a table in a restaurant?
Most likely, yeah. I think it was an IHOP. Was it an IHOP?
It was definitely an IHOP.
Brad has not ate at IHOP since. Thank you.
I was driving that whole weekend. I remember every detail that you all forgot.
Joe,
Glad to forget.
favorite GoldenEye level and weapon?
Oh, rocket launchers in the library.
Temple.
With grenade launchers.
Yeah, grenade launchers in the temple.
No.
Have you ever broken the leg of a girl you liked in an apparent attempt to get her to like you?
Many times, yeah, but only once with a four-wheeler.
Right. How many colleges do you attend or take classes at?
Oh man,
Brad, I think he's beating you here.
This is gonna be tough. I've got 5?
I think I have 5.
Arm wrestling.
But I did all that with just a bachelor's degree, Brad.
Then you win.
What's the last show or movie that you streamed?
Lost in Space.
The Netflix, the new one?
Yep. So there's a wonderful, fantastic, wholesome circus here in Chicago that we go to every year in the summer, and it's run by this lovely family, and the boy in Lost in Space is the son from that family who's also in the circus. And we went this year and we were like, where's the little kid? He must have grown up and decided that he was too cool for the circus. But no, fear not. He was just shooting Lost in Space. There you
It was neither fun nor a fact, Joe. Have you ever seen a human being in real life lift a car?
Yeah, I was in it. Yes, my boss when I was in high school was a superhero named Lee Minch, and I got stuck in the snow, and he came out with a F-450 Ford tow truck, and instead of using the tow truck to get me out of the snow, he just walked up to my car and lifted it up to his chest, and then pushed it out of the snow, which 2 young farmers had not been able to do mere minutes before. And he was also at the time 65 years old.
Who wins in an arm wrestling match? Lee Mensch, Stallone and Over the Top, or Ditka?
Oh, Lee Minch, but Ditka puts up a really good fight.
Ditka. What's your least favorite job that you've ever had?
I did support services for corporate law firms in the Loop, and that was terrible.
How did you get poison ivy before your wedding and honeymoon?
Because Andy Hendricks wore shorts when we went paintballing. And when we went back to the house, he sat on a chair with his poison ivy filled legs. And because he's also a superhero and has no known human ailments, it didn't affect him at all. But then I sat on the chair, and because I am the weakest link, I immediately got poison ivy all over my body, and it was still there on my wedding day and for my entire honeymoon.
Did it impact your performance?
Come on. I'm going to let that get in the way. Don't be ridiculous.
Have you ever chased a cow with a cup of coffee? If so, why?
Yes, because they got out, and I had to help get them back in, but also I had a cup of coffee with me. And just like the poison ivy, I'm not going to let that impact my performance.
Chicago's a crazy place. What's the last board game that you won that wasn't co-op and also wasn't just you and your wife?
That's weird, Brad. It was probably Sellers of Catan, and Brad was there, and I beat him.
I will say your sister-in-law, Beth, has no memory of you ever winning a board game in her presence.
No, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, that's Get to Know Joe, sort of.
Thank God that's over.
I mentioned board games, and narcolepsy set in for Brad.
Joe, I love you, but man.
Yeah, just not getting to know me. I really appreciate it, Brad. Really touching stuff. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck as you begin your winning streak this week, Joe.
Brad, pick my lineup.
I'm working on it. That's what I could have been doing for the last 2 minutes.
You really should have been using your time more wisely.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Bye.